And welcome to the show, because we are rolling.
All right. Thank you, the missus. And I'll quickly catch on up. This is the pregame show. Real show starts about 5 minutes. So if you're watching this in the future where this has already taken place, you can skip ahead about 5 minutes, and that'll take us right to where we are. So, let's see. You all good on your side, the missus?
As far as I know.
You got any funny stuff for tonight?
I do have some funny stuff, yeah.
Okay. Oh, Tim's here. Yes, Tim. Hey, Sky.
Tim and Sky both. Hello.
Oh, and you know who's with me? My old friend Yingling.
Oh, I was going to say, it's the cat.
That's a Yingling.
Okay. Is that your term for the cat?
Oh, and Jim's here. Jim is back.
Well, my friends, the dogs, are with me, and they kind of have the zoomies, so they've been tearing around down here.
You didn't. If you go to my website, you can see the main meme I put in front in honor of just that, in honor of you. So you go to my website, wilderwealthywise.com, and you'll see it right up top. So I've got that up, got this up, got that up. I got all the things I need. You like that?
Yeah, I do. That is absolutely true.
Tim notes that the dog joke was, you can put it up in the pregame if you can. You just want to cut and paste that into it. You can put that up, and we can have that as our pregame theme because you have your doggies there. And Mark's here. Hiya, Mark.
See, I can't do that because the file type that automatically saves is not one that shows up, because it does not automatically save as a JPEG.
Okay.
It's that horribly irritating and annoying
PNG.
WebP file. No, a PNG is much better.
Okay. Well, anyway.
So what I have to do is, when I get those, I just have to copy them and then paste them into a program so I can save them as a JPEG. It's a completely additional step that I would have to open a program in order to do, and ain't nobody got that kind of time. Here, I actually I have sound for that. Maybe.
That's what I have to do, is I have to copy them over into Word.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Document.
Yeah.
Well, I blame you.
As naturally you would. I lost my time. Oh, there we go. We still have a whole minute.
In 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And 2. And 1. And the milk just went bad.
There it goes. Thank you, Bobby Hill. Oh, hey, did you know that today is Elvis's birthday?
Shush! You're taking away from. You're stomping on my material.
Oh, never mind. Forget I said anything.
We have on this day in history, remember?
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot about that. It's been so long since we've been here. I think before Christmas the last time we did this.
It was before Christmas. We promised to be back.
That was months ago.
We promised to be back on New Year's, and then you went,
Yeah. I was
grouchy.
I was grouchy on New Year's.
Yeah, you were the weakest link.
I was. Absolutely I was. I'm going to take full responsibility for that.
You were... oh, how did that end up there? All right. Okay. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Showtime.
It is 8 o'clock. Let's
we got
do
movie
it.
sign.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 153rd live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industry skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey, everyone.
And the missus.
Hello. That's your cue to say more things.
Oh, Mark, you sound down. Are you okay?
No, I was just eating a snack. Sorry.
Ooh, what is it?
It was a Milky Way candy bar.
Ooh.
Oh.
Is the original Milky Way or one of the 5,000 different varieties of Milky Way that they try and tempt us with?
The original one.
Okay.
I think we talked about this the last time we had a podcast. We were talking about candy bars.
I don't
And about
remember.
our go-to candy bars whenever we were traveling. Milky Way very high on the list.
Yeah, I miss Marathon.
The
Well,
Marathon.
you order those weird British candy bars.
And the Reggie bar. Yeah, okay, they're not weird. It's a flake, and if you've had one, they're the best candy bar on the planet.
They're pretty good. I'll give you that.
And then the Galaxy bar. Which okay, I have enough for everyone because I only ordered them in wintertime. And the reason I only order them in wintertime is because they have to come from Blighty, and so they have to come across, and I don't want them to melt in some barge crossing the Atlantic. So I order enough in wintertime for the year, and that's it.
See, now I have discovered recently a new candy bar that I really like. It's an Australian candy bar called the Violet Crumble.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite good. It's like a Twix, but the middle is fruity and not a cookie. It's got a kind of an odd texture to it, but it's a very enjoyable candy bar.
Well, and the reason you discovered it is because I bought you an Australian candy bar gift basket.
See, always got to step in and take credit, don't you?
Well, and a South Korean.
Yes.
They didn't have a North Korean. It's mainly rocks and pebbles. And then a Japanese one. So
And my favorite from the Japanese candy box, partly, they were good, but partly because of the name, it was the Little Bob Dog candy sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actual name, Little Bob Dog.
So
And Bob
Mark,
Dog is one word.
So Mark, what's your favorite foreign candy?
Oh, my favorite foreign one?
Yeah.
Oh, of all time or what I can actually get hold of now. Gosh, what are they called? Tromboles or something? They're like a rectangular...
Toblerone?
Troublani, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are good. So that's what I can get now in this area. When I was in Japan, they had, and of course this is a long, long time ago, decades ago. They had one that was sort of like it looked like you had little squares that were all connected together, sort of like a Hershey's is, but these were rounded, and yeah, they had like a little fruit jelly type of filling. I remember those were really good.
The fruit and the matter. All right. Well, let's get going because, I said it's a special India themed edition because that's from last time. Last time it was a special India themed edition. This is actually the Blame Canada edition. But let's start with On This Day in History. Oh, wait, do you have a sounder for it?
Yes, I do.
It's a blast from the past.
This day in history.
Echoing down through history. In 1310, during the Great Frost, the River Thames froze so thick that they built bonfires on it. I don't know why they did it. They were British, and what else are you going to do in the year 1310? The big volcano led to that particular winter. It was really kind of an ugly winter. And anytime you guys have anything you want to jump into, let me know. In the year 1598, Jews were expelled from Genoa, Italy. There's probably a spaghetti joke in there somewhere, but I ain't going to touch it. In 1815, the
What
Battle
was
of
it? Because the Jews were expelled because they were eating spaghetti with a knife instead of with a fork and a spoon. They were twirling it on a knife, which is
I don't know.
forbidden in Italy, and I don't know if you know that or not.
I don't know.
They're probably using the spaghetti in the bagels. So you like bite into a bagel and it have the spaghetti in it.
You know that sounds kind of good, Mark.
Does it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
I
really
was
kind of
thinking
does.
I would anybody like that, I would drive them out of the city too. But okay.
Well,
Okay.
I don't think it would be bad. I mean, you eat garlic bread with spaghetti. Why not a garlic bagel?
And
Don't knock it till you try it, is what I'm saying.
well, apparently the Italians did, and they kicked him out. So, in 1815, the Battle of New Orleans took place. In 1814, we took a little trip. So, down with Johnny Horton. Anyway,
Down the mighty
90.
Mississippi.
Yep, 90 years ago on this date, a king was born. Specifically,
Oh, oh.
Elvis Aaron Presley. And in honor of the king, well, I'll tell you what, we're just going to do the rest of the show talking like the king. Let's hear your best king, Mark.
Yeah, gosh, I can't imitate people's voices.
You ain't nothing but a hound. Okay, I can't sing, and I shouldn't. And I'm
My
going to
Elvis
stop right there.
impersonation. Elvis of Arabia. Dang, it's hot out here.
Very hot out here. All right, many such cases. Let's take us to Conversation Street.
Oh, we're done with that, huh?
Hmm?
Okay.
Well, unless you had more things to say.
Time for us to take down the smooth sidewalks of Conversation Street.
All right, so this is the Blame Canada edition. Maybe blame Denmark too. Donald Trump is making waves as he threatens to annex Canada, the Panama Canal, and Greenland. I'll note that Denmark, oddly, says that they may be open to negotiations about the whole thing. We went from a month ago, no one would have said that the United States would end up with Greenland, to Denmark's going, we can talk maybe.
So you know how the press is just going nuts over this, right? Especially the
Yes.
lefties. I have unlikely voice of reason on this topic, Senator John Fetterman.
There's a lot of talk about Greenland, for example. Now, and I know there's a lot of freakouts, and of course I would never support taking it by force. But I do think it's a responsible conversation if they were open to acquiring it, and whether just buying it outright. I mean, if anyone think that's bonkers, it's like, well, remember the Louisiana Purchase? Oh, I think Alaska was a great deal too. $50 million, I think it was. It was referred to as Seward's Folly, and now that was Alaska now. So, I mean, open to having all kinds of conversations as well.
So for just something like $50 billion, you could give everybody in Greenland at least $100,000 to just vote for, just vote to become part of the U.S. So,
I think we should put Elon on this.
Well, so, I mean, this is a thing that's becoming real. Denmark oddly says that they may be open to negotiations, which would be part of their pattern, just like an abused spouse. They lost Sweden in 1523, Schleswig-Holstein in 1864.
Wait,
the
a
Danish
cow?
West.
It was a cow. It was a Holstein. A cow.
Okay,
That's
before
cow.
the cow,
Okay.
those cows come from that region formerly known as Denmark. The Danish West
What
Indies
did that
in
guy have to do with the cows?
1917, and they lost Iceland in 1944. Now this is on record. It's actually is something that has already been said. The French have already vowed to surrender in protest if we do anything. So just Mark, what do you think about the Danes? Be careful. I'm about a third Dane.
Well, I mean, they have sold stuff to us before, like you said. The U.S. Virgin Islands originally were theirs. No, I mean it's of strategic importance, particularly with Russia and China to a lesser extent wanting to exert influence over the Arctic Ocean and those islands. There's a lot of mineral resources there. May be important Trade routes, assuming that the global warming thing continues, although that mostly seems to be a lie, but to me, from my perspective anyway, but assuming it actually was real, like Santa Claus. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to want to take Greenland. So plus, why not snub the Europeans?
The missus, your thoughts on we could change it from Greenland to Trumpland?
Yeah, sure, why not? Don Jr.'s already there, right?
Yeah, well, he only
Did
stayed
you
like
see-
8 hours.
Well, he posted a selfie, and guess who else was in the selfie with him? Who was also on the trip? Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
How did they fit his head into
I
the
know. Well, it was
cabin
really
without
kind of only
depressurizing?
just his face. It was just kind of in the corner. Yeah, it is kind of huge.
So that's Greenland, but I also mentioned Canada, the Panama Canal. Canada vows apparently to fight to the last Indian. And they have said, "Sir, you cannot come up here. You cannot come to Canada." Mark, your thoughts? Why would you?
Oh yeah, yeah, that is actually sort of funny. There's a lot of Indian and Chinese investment up there, and people that have migrated. So I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't like it if we took over. I don't know how Canadians would actually, respond to it. They seem. I mean, for one, they would have. I don't know. It'd be an odd thing. They seem so liberal that I don't know if they'd be a good fit. That'd be almost like getting
Exactly.
another Massachusetts or something.
So I'm thinking we take Alberta, we take Saskatchewan, all the places with oil, let them keep the rest of it, and give them, Jim has a list: New York, Illinois, California, New Mexico, Oregon, and Washington. And what the resulting shape would be a triangular. And we could change our name to Triangulon. There you go. We want to keep the eastern half and a chunk of the northern bit. No, the eastern half, that's where the liberals, unless you're talking like the far east. Oh, eastern Oregon and Washington. Okay, yes. Agreed. And we'll take the good bits of California, too. We'll take the mountains, just give them the coasts. All right. Codex says basically we keep every part that won't fall into the ocean when the ring of fire goes off. 10 out of 10. All right, so Canada would be fighting to the last Indian. And Panama says we cannot occupy what is rightfully China's. But I want to ask this, since he's managed to piss off everybody in North America, who's ready to go on vacation down at the Gulf of America?
So I do have a couple of visual funnies to go along with the
Sure.
two things we've been talking about. Okay, so with regards to Canada, here's the first one.
Good.
And with regards to the Panama Canal, let me find it. There it is.
I like it.
So, and we can even
Good.
compare notes, and all of our stuff's matching up.
Yeah, that's right. So I will know that the oddly named president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, has noted that
What are you talking about? That's a Hispanic name. Come on.
It's just noted that she's gonna call the United States Mexican America. Yeah, good luck. on that.
In Mexico has had their, we pissed in their Cheerios for a long time because they're just mad.
Okay,
that we're the United States when they say, but we're the United States of Mexico. No, you're just Mexico.
No, Mexico is the only country in the world well, I guess India would too, that would protest if we sent their people back to them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You're mistreating them by sending them
No.
back to their own country.
Venezuela is protesting us sending Venezuelans back.
Oh, okay. And Willie notes that Claudia is Italian, from Genoa. 10 out of 10, Willie. All right, let's move on to. Oh, we don't have Jackass of the Week, but we do have the song. So play the song.
Oh, you want me to play the Jackass song? Or what? What song do you want me to play?
Yeah, mix.
Oh, okay, sure.
Meow 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 meow.
It's so sunshiny and happy.
Outstanding.
Meow.
And that brings us to, and don't you dare ask him if he's ready, 2 minutes of guns in 1 minute.
I'm not ready.
It's too late, Mark.
In 3,
Time's ticking by.
2, 1, go.
Okay. One of the more interesting things I've noticed over the past several years is interest in retro style guns. Not necessarily retro
15
specific like
seconds.
copies, but styles. So, like for instance, I've seen a couple YouTube videos recently reviewing tactical revolvers. And you can mount all the lights, and
30
lasers and stuff on them.
seconds.
As everything else. Another thing we've seen pop up in the last several years are the tactical lever actions. These sort of make sense in a way for people that live in states that don't allow semi-auto rifles, but it's interesting the
45
evolution on
seconds.
that. So like now we've seen a few come out, including most recently Henry, that actually accept Magpul magazines intended for the AR-15.
3,
So it'll be
2,
interesting to see how this
1,
goes into the future.
Stop.
Oh, that was a perfect finish, Mark. Down
Nailed
to
it.
the 10th of a second. That's the best one yet. And you said you weren't ready.
I wasn't ready.
All right. It's time for
I don't know.
Think Real Fast.
You keep saying that like I can
maybe
read your mind.
maybe we
and know where
should
we're going.
maybe we should have a new segment called I Don't Know.
Yeah.
Think Real Fast.
See, if you give me a sheet of paper that tells me the order you want to go in, then when you said it's time for, then I would be ready to hit the sounder. But
Okay.
I just can't guess.
Okay.
Think real fast.
Canadian Prime Minister Jessica Trudeau says that she's resigning just as soon as they find someone to replace her. Mark, do you think Canada will ever find someone who wears blackface as well
Black
as Jessica?
what?
I will
Black.
never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2+.
Never gets old.
I'm sure they can find plenty of people from Cuba that will do blackface for him.
Do you think that's what Daddy left him in the will?
Oh, I don't know.
The missus, do you think that that Jessica will run for Indian Prime Minister next?
I just think that's her go-to Halloween costume. I mean, and because she's a leftist, that's acceptable.
I can't even imagine what he's going to do after he's no longer Prime Minister. And
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Perhaps he'll go and become Obama's footstool or something. All right.
He's a
Facebook,
stool, all right.
Yep. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook will no longer Facebook.
Bok.
Facebook will no longer fact check. Instead, use version of Elon's community notes. Mark, why did the fact checkers fact check this and say it was untrue?
Well, I think what they said was untrue was that they did a worse job than Community Notes.
That is correct.
So they're very conceited.
Thank you for injecting reality into the show. That is exactly correct, though. Yes, please do.
So they're just worthless scum. I mean, of course they're going to want to keep their jobs.
The missus, I need you to fact check this statement.
Okay.
Is it untrue that Zuckerbot is a robot and is instead just a misunderstood lizard person?
Yes.
All right, he's a lizard person. And Willie notes he built a bunker on a volcano in the Ring of Fire. Genius. Oh.
But that's the only way he could have the tunnel down to where the reptilioids live under the deep in the crust.
Deep in the crust of inner Earth and
Yes.
Agartha. All right. Okay. So I just want to note that Facebook will now allow you to use the word retarded. We use it only to talk about slowing things down. Right? But Facebook will now use the word retarded. Oh, no. I don't know if they'll allow that. But they will allow you to call things gay. And they will allow you to say that people who are trans perhaps are suffering from a mental issue. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Facebook will allow people to say that. Suggest that trans people are having mental problems. So, crazy. All right, yesterday, and this is on our freight train to hell. Yesterday, Donald Trump retruthed a video of Jeffrey Sachs explaining that Netanyahu is behind the Iraq war, and Obama had the CIA intervene in Syria, and blamed the CIA for regime change in the United States. This is something Donald Trump actually posted on Truth. I went there to check it. Mark, how long before we get kicked off of YouTube for reporting that?
Oh, I'll give him about 30 seconds.
The missus, do you think Trump even watched the video, or do you think he's really...
Are you threatening me?
At Netanyahu for bailing off the Trump wagon so quickly?
I just think he's a master level troll. And oftentimes I think that's all there is to it.
So he's just trolling because, number one, he's going to be president, and what the hell else am I going to do? I might as well have a lot of silly fun at everybody's expense. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I think he's a guy who kind of likes to do that, and that's kind of one of the tools in his repertoire that he likes to use.
Excellent.
And I think oftentimes it's pretty effective.
Oh, it is. Well, and look at what's happening with Greenland.
Yeah.
It literally a year ago, no one would have said this was even a remote possibility. Now, Trump sent his junior up to go measure the place to see if the furniture will fit.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. All right. Apparently, the infamous hacker known as 4chan provides a lot of data that companies are using to train AI. Of course, I mean the website 4chan, but often has been called the hacker 4chan because people don't know it's just a website. Mark, what could be the downside for an AI?
It's like 2600?
And then some.
Okay.
Mark, what would be the downside of AI being trained by 4chan?
Well, I guess it depends on your political persuasion, because AI might not accept all of the liberal brainwashing that it's currently subject to.
And I was going to say it would become racist much more quickly.
Oh, 4chan's not racist. It's... Oh, well, maybe.
Maybe it is.
Okay. The missus, will this make our new AI overlords, which I want to note I welcome. I welcome our new AI overlords because they'll be reading this.
And taking notes.
And provide a lot more humor for the inevitable death camps.
Exactly. Well, I mean, somebody has to entertain the people as we're marched off to the showers, right?
Well, no.
Oh, it would just be a big wood chipper. It's much more effective.
Yeah. I've got to think we'd make great pets. At least some of us will make great pets.
Yeah.
All right. Vivek Ramaswamy.
The only downside of that is that you have to wear that Carrie Fisher outfit from Star Wars.
As long as I don't have to shave my chest. As long
Yeah,
as I
but
don't
look,
have to shave my chest.
but look at the clear advantage that the peoples in industrialized nations will have because they're actually housebroken.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Mark, I thought you weren't going to say bad things about Indians anymore. Okay, speaking of Indians, Vivek Ramaswamy noted in a podcast that anyone who believes in the U.S. Constitution is an American. Anyone, anywhere. So there are billions of Americans. And so, Mark, did anyone tell him that Liberia has almost exactly the same constitution as the United States of America?
That's why it's called Liberia. Heck, it should be the 52nd state after Canada.
No.
No one wants that dumpster fire.
No.
Oh, come on. They could just if it was something you could move around, like a car or something, it'd be just like East St. Louis or something. So
No.
just think of it as a bigger.
No.
Now there's a would you rather question. Where would you rather live, Liberia or East St. Louis? That's a tough one.
I'm trying to think of a way to tell this story and make it humorous. I just can't. Okay, so I was in college, and someone rented Faces of Death back when you could rent those sorts of things. I don't recommend it to anyone because it's
Now you don't have to pay for it. It's just on the internet.
It's just on the internet. It's called 4chan.
Exactly.
And so anyway, it ended with just execution after execution in Liberia, and I'm like, well, that kind of ruins the night. And then somebody says, hey, who wants to watch A Christmas Story? And I'm going, maybe not in the mood for that right.
I'm sorry. I have to go take a shower and then sit alone in my room and hug my knees and rock back and forth, moaning softly.
Yeah. The missus, if America is just an idea, why can't they have that idea in India and just stay home?
That's an excellent question. Though, as Codex points out, that it's easier to move out of East St. Louis.
So just noting that, yeah. No, I guess I'll have to disagree with Ramaswamy. And the reason I'm calling him Ramaswamy is because I've just recently done a little bit of research into his...
He's a bit of a slicky boy.
Oh, yeah. His company that he sold sounds like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stock before the failed drug he bought failed again. And his mom was the clinical doctor trial. I mean,
see, I get the feeling that, like Vivek, he's the kind of guy that when you hang out for him for like 10 minutes is okay, but like, and he weasels his way into going on a car trip with you and your buddies, and after about 30 minutes, you're like pulling over and going, hey, I hear some sort of weird sound coming from the rear of the car. Vivek, could you get out and check that for me? And as soon as he's out of the car, off you go.
Mark, your thoughts on Vivek?
Well, I don't have any specific on him. I would just note that cheating and deception is so endemic in India. The schools and everything. I mean, these people that come out of, they're being hired as H-1B for visa holders, coming over here. They're just the ones that cheated better than everyone else.
They spend a lot of time and effort cheating. They're doing the cheating Americans won't do.
That's right.
Okay. All right. China is denying that they dragged an anchor to damage undersea cables, hooking Taiwan up to the outside world for internets and phones and things. And so that now Taiwan can't stream Netflix. Mark, how dare people accuse such an innocent country as China?
That's right. That is totally true. I mean, they're not even housebroken yet.
You laugh about that, but we had some friends who adopted a couple of orphans from China, And they said that was one of the most appalling things when they went over there to pick up their soon-to-be children, is that people just poop in the street. And like little kids, that's how they they have, like, they don't wear diapers. They have these pants that have like slits in the back. And when they got to go, they just squat and go on the street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worse than San Francisco even.
But if they believe in the Constitution, they're Americans. The missus, was anything of value lost?
No, nothing of value was lost.
Okay. Asma Fawaz al-Akras is otherwise known as the wife of Bashar al-Assad, former head of Syria, and she's divorcing him. Turns out that some folks are claiming that Asma was a British MI5 operative. Mark, do you think Bashar was surprised when Asma pulled off the mask and it was really Tom Cruise the entire time?
So I was going to say Gillian Anderson, but you know.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, because he wouldn't have otherwise been able to figure out.
And he was immediately appalled by his one middle tooth. Ah, that's not normal.
If you look at a picture of Tom Cruise, he has a tooth right in the dead center of his nose. Thank you. You'll never be able to unsee it.
Yeah, you'll never unsee it. Just
so,
pull
pulls off the
right
mask.
now.
It's Tom Cruise. Was he surprised?
No, it was probably his fondest fantasy, actually.
Oh, Bashar seems like he was an okay guy. The missus, do you think... No, seriously, he seems like an okay guy. I'm
just
not
an illegal drug tycoon and
Bashar al-Assad.
Yeah, he was. It came out, after he was overthrown. Okay, so they have a drug that it's got a different name, but it's very similar to meth, and they have a similar problem to that in wherever the hell we're talking about. I can't remember.
The whole Middle East.
Yes, exactly, the whole Middle East.
Okay.
And he was one of the primary movers and shakers in that drug cartel.
But did it keep the taxes down for his people? I can see that.
Well, it was just legalizing a substance they were going to abuse anyway, so why not do it, right?
Seems like a likable guy.
Let's gamble on sports. What
What
could possibly go wrong?
The missus, do you think that Asma liked her martinis shaken or stirred?
I think you're giving her a lot of credit there. I mean, how long was she married to that guy? Years, right?
Oh, yeah, decades.
That's deep, deep cover.
Well, yeah, no wonder Tom Cruise's face was so sweaty when he pulled the mask off. And Jim wants to know, what? Our government overthrows someone and then they turn out to be bad? No way. I'm willing to bet you're going to find out that a lot of that stuff was just made up. So you didn't say
he's just misunderstood.
Yes.
All he needs to do to get in with the leftists in this country is put on a dress and call himself Caitlin, and all will be forgiven. Suddenly, he's the victim.
Well, actually, he was. They tried to poison him like last week. So, the missus, do you think she liked her martini shaken or stirred? You have to answer.
Let me think. I was going to say she prefers white Russians, but maybe she likes black Russians more.
Well, she's moving back to England, so.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Still,
All right. British. And she's
dirty martinis. How about that?
Okay. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced he might cut diplomatic ties with the United States if Trump doesn't cut Elon loose. Mark, do you think Mr. Starmer might have misjudged the situation?
Well, what I don't understand is why he's willing to throw away the special relationship between the U.S. and Great Britain just to cover up pedophilia within his government. That's the question people really need to be asking.
You sure you don't want to be more specific with what you're saying, Mark?
I was just going to add that well, they imported the pedophiles, so.
Well, and they covered it up, and there were some
Mhm.
that participated. At least, I've heard that at the council level, they had some that were, that was sort of their reward apparently for looking the other way. And of course, yeah, there's the other things with some of the, what was that BBC guy and some others. But why is that more important to him and to the British government than the ties with the U.S.?
There you go. Jim Winslow notes, don't make fun of Kier. He'll come and get you. Because they have announced that they are going to try and extradite American citizens who share memes that they don't like. The missus?
Well, but the important thing is that he wants to make sure that all the sausages get released.
That's
I
right.
mean, the hostages get released.
The missus, is this what a government with a 16% approval rating should do?
What do they have to lose?
Yeah. Here's what I'm seeing right now. You're seeing in country after country after country, all of the left-wing governments are falling just as fast as they can as Trump comes back in office. It's this weird confluence of people are just done with the globalist leftists, and I don't know.
Maybe
It's a preference.
Okay.
It's a classic example of a preference cascade. Suddenly everybody's with Trump getting reelected, notwithstanding all the headwinds against him from the left and even from, the Republican rhinos, which I guess really are part of the left anyway. Despite all that, he got reelected, and suddenly everybody's realizes that, hey, the people that are opposed to all this crap, we're not in the minority. We're in the majority, and so that's what you're seeing.
Maybe the British government should just fall back on the old standby of what they do when they're not popular with the populace. Start a war with France. Always worked in the past. Things going badly at home. Start a war with France.
But
France.
But here's the problem: Germany would then say, Germany wouldn't know who to show up and say, "How are you doing, fellow allies?" Who are they going to ally with?
Yeah. Also, it would just be Britain's Muslims fighting against France's Muslims at this point.
Yeah, and against Germany's Turks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, that ends Think Real Fast.
Ooh, that was very long.
Think real fast.
All tired now.
Well, guess what? You're not tired enough because you haven't heard on the air.
See, when you give me warning, see how smoothly that works?
Yeah. Ben and Jerry's is planning an anti-fascism march against Trump during the inauguration. To me, that tastes like insurrection crunch. Mark?
Yeah, I think they probably should all be arrested.
That is insurrection. I can't believe that. They're going to riot?
No, this is an anti-fascism march.
Yeah, whatever. That's what January 6th was. Essentially was a march. But now we're told it's riots and mobs. So there they are, Ben and Jerry. They're going to be out there waddling along with their buckets of ice cream trying to overthrow the government.
They're so old, they won't be walking. They'll be on their hover rounds. Mobility scooters.
Now, I thought you said Ben and Jared. Is it like the subway guy?
No,
Okay. No. All right. The LA mayor, who cares what her name is, just came back from a vacation in Ghana, Africa.
Because who doesn't go to Ghana for a vacation?
Right. Against all those Americans who believe in the Constitution down in Africa who just haven't been here. And is silent about cutting the fire department's budget by $20 million. The fire department in LA is also focused on diversity and
Hey, I have a visual thing for that too. You want to see it?
Sure. Ah, yes. At least the fire chief is a woman and gay.
Right. And promoting DEI. And firefighting is a predominantly white male. We aim to change that.
Well,
hey, success.
Success. Is this winning? this what winning looks like?
Yeah, I guess it does.
All right. And the last item I have, the mayor was studying the best practices. Yes.
I've got another California related one too. Here it is.
Ah, yes.
He has great hair though.
He's got great hair.
Lean into it, Gavi. Lean into it.
What the hell is going on?
And finally, Joe Biden maintains he would have beaten Donald Trump if he had stayed in the election. It just came out today. That's what the old man really thinks. Mark, what do you think about that?
Definitely, yeah. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's the last of I Heard It on the X for tonight. You gonna play that thing again?
Oh, I didn't. Okay, sure.
Did you have more funny things to share?
I do have some more funny things to share. Let's do this one first. So we were talking about Justin Trudeau, who of course resigned. So,
well, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, resigned. I know. He's done essentially. So they're everyone is kind of jockeying for position as to who's going to be the next prime minister. Now there's a guy who is kind of in the running. I think his last name is Polvier or something like that.
Yes, Pierre.
Yes.
Pierre,
something
French name.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's his name. So there's a very amusing clip making the rounds of him talking to a Canadian reporter. And the best thing about this clip is that he's eating an apple while he's doing this. And you can hear him just munching away. But anyway, here's the clip. This is fantastic. And perhaps already I think this might be the clip of 2025 because it's so funny. Here he is.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but...
Like who?
I don't know who, but...
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
Okay. Taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also...
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically, in terms of...
I'm not sure. I don't know what your question is.
That is hilarious.
That journalist is going to need a safe space.
I'm surprised he just didn't collapse in a pile right there and cry, "Why are you picking on me? What? Stop hitting me!"
Why you bullying me?
Well, in especially good news. Again, this is just a women calling women household objects is now permitted on Facebook. So,
right.
Call them, yeah,
household objects.
Yes.
Like what? Book?
Well, women. All right.
I have two more. So one more Trump related. The Don Roe Doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, New York Post. And finally, something completely apolitical.
There you go.
And that's my funnies for tonight. So
excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think Canadians need to accept the inevitable and just elect Donald Trump as their next prime minister.
There you go. That's the easy way to do it.
Yeah.
When you see what something's inevitable, might as well just go with the flow. Oh, well, the missus, do you have any closing thoughts?
Nope, don't think I do.
Mark?
I think, I've hit on a good idea there. Trump could actually, serve out his term and then just successfully go around the world, becoming leaders in other nations just for fun.
There you go. It's just kind of as a lark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, I can just imagine him being the leader of Germany. France, you and I, we should get together. And then we'll have, well, no, let's just stop right there. Anyway, any other final thoughts?
No. I'm out of thoughts.
All right.
Completely empty.
Well, on that note.
Oh, as soon as I move my mouse, then you give me the cue.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming. We probably won't be here next week. Just a heads up. The missus
Thanks for letting me know.
Well, but we should be here the week after. Everyone have a wonderful week, and we'll be back. I'm John. I'm out.
This is Mark. Bye, everyone.
Gee whiz, gang. Looks like the killer gutted the victim, strangled him with his own intestines, and then dumped the body in the river.
Jinkies, what a mystery.
You're right, Scoob. We're dealing with one sick son of a bitch.
And I am the missus, and we are out. Y'all come back now, you hear?
That's the dumb